Howdy. Today we are going to work, basically. I'll work for the Dole Induction for today. Then we'll be going to work on a more regular basis, I suppose. But, yeah, we're just going to see who's out on the belt on the road. Well, this is going to be another long episode, if you want to call it an episode, I suppose. But it's about a 45-minute drive, so it will cut out.
None of us are happy with what we've got. We were never content. That's just human nature. But if there's one human...
We'll see if there's any stupid people on the road. Lately they've been pretty good out on the road, I'd say. I think someone's told them, "Oh, Logan's out on the road, he's recording everyone." Certainly seems like it. Since we... Oh, better turn that off. I said off. And I've got my cup of tea. Going to an area called Castle Hill. Been there many a times, and it's not like I need a navigation unit to get anywhere. Bloody Audi going 2k's around bloody roundabout. Interesting number plates. Yeah. Okay, almost finished bolts. There's a house being constructed over there. It was a knockdown rebuild by the looks of it. But instead of a one-storey house, it's a two-storey house, so it's clearly visible from the street. Because the driveway goes... It's a very steep decline into whatever valley they are in. So, yeah. Damn it. Yeah. Again, I hate to continually... I was lucky. From 70 to 60 k's. At least it's pretty much 60k most of the way there until we get onto Windsor Road anyway. Then it goes 70. Well, that makes a great difference or anything like that. Makes bigger differences in anticipating everyone's move, which is not that great at times, but it's good when they move the way you anticipate it. Oh wow. Okay, another set of apartments going up by the looks of it. Yeah, don't look at me like that, boy. I probably could move up a bit. suppose I don't have a lot to talk about today. I just sort of got up out of bed not long ago, so. But that's pretty typical for me. I'm more of a night owl. But unfortunately, the world doesn't revolve around the night time, does it? There are jobs that do revolve around the night time. I know I have applied for them. To no luck, of course. We've been around here before, haven't we? Oops. Oh. Not a good idea to be in that lane, but if you're going around the corner, that's fine. Yeah, so there's another set of units going up here. There's been like 5 set of units going up. Only 2 of them have been done fairly recently. Oh, excuse me. Ooh, wow, that was rude of me. Might have to put some music over that. It's a good day for a drive though. Partial moon out. Not that you'd be able to see it on camera or anything like that, and it's over in that direction. But yeah, it's possible to see the moon during the day. It's sort of like quarter moon. Well, come on people, it's not a school zone at the moment. Well, no. School zone finished at 9:30 and doesn't pick up until 2:30, so. Just amazing me the number of people that don't keep up the pace, particularly when going uphill. It's like they're afraid to push on the accelerator for fear of using more fuel when they're using more fuel just going up the damn hill. You take going up the hill, the more fuel you use. Back's still stiff today. Neck not so bad. See, these set of units went up about last year, a whole heap of them, and they cost a fortune. Some of them are still being. See what I mean by it'll just cut out? That's because I failed to take notice. Well, I'm busy driving, so I shouldn't have to push the button on the fucking phone all the bloody time, eh? But Samsung, in their great wisdom, decided to put a limit on the amount of video you record while in dual camera operation. Well, yeah, I was talking about indicators, well, it's handy when you actually in a turning lane. A lot of people think, well, don't need to turn, I don't need to indicate, and this is a turning lane, and yada yada yada. But that's not necessarily true. I mean, you get people that are new to the area, don't know that's a turning lane, and don't know that they have to turn because they can't see the arrows because all the traffic is built up on it. So it's handy to have that kind of number of people indicating to go around the corner at all times, whether you're in a turning lane or not. And how is someone that's never been to the area before supposed to know if you don't indicate? I know that doesn't necessarily mean that turning lane has to turn, but the more people that indicate in the lane, and the more people that the unexperienced driver for the area sees, the more they're likely to assume that it's a turning lane. Like I said, it's saved my bum a few times. Particularly when there's trucks, because you can't see there's no straight through area or anything like that, so yeah. That's my PSA for the day. And a little car has to use 2 lanes to go around the corner. Oh, why didn't you just stay in that lane in the first place? I mean, it's a small little Laser, Ford Laser. I've driven those cars all the time, and the wheelbase doesn't change a great deal from station wagon to sedan, so no real reason for him to do that, unless he's used to driving a bigger vehicle. Even then, I found that most of the times, as long as they're a car, you can usually do it. It's just got to know how to drive, I suppose. And that isn't to say that I haven't done that sort of thing, but I usually correct my mistakes quickly. There's a reason why I jumped in this lane too. Not because there's no one else in this lane, it's just because this lane does end. And most of the regular drivers along here will understand that. And this guy ahead of us is speeding like over 70 k's in the 60k zone. Oh, golf club, golf course, resort, whatever you want to call it. And then we've got my favourite hill, which we've been through once before. We've seen this road works before, haven't we? I really wish I would finish it, but It's all about expanding Sydney's roadways to make it easier for everyone, but the problem is they're only sorting for today's problems. What about tomorrow's problems? They'll just have to re-expand again in another 10, 20 years. Of course, the toll roads aren't built by the government. They're built by the funding company that built the road under contract with the government. So government does get a slice of the pie, though, yes. Of course, we've been down here too. Still fairly early. Traffic hasn't been too bad, I suppose. It's a lot worse in the morning. Trust me on that. I used to travel this in the morning and in the afternoon. Afternoons probably wasn't as bad until you got closer to home. Back to where that 7-Eleven was. That's usually where it's bad. Well, at least on the way home. On the way through here in the mornings, it's roughly the same all the way through. But it really does take a long time. Yeah, probably the worst part coming through this way in the morning is where we are at the moment, because there's usually a line up all the way down there. I talked about in the last one of the previous videos about how the lights turning left and that lane being both left and right is a faux pas, I suppose. A sort of a bad idea. Because, you know, I won't get into it, but, well, if you want to hear that discussion, just watch the previous videos, and these lights do take a while. Again, 60k zone. This is probably going to be the best part of the drive because this is all main highway along here. Okay, well, we'll see you in a few seconds, hopefully. And we're back. There's a pub just there. liquor store there and a little Catholic area down there, but down there is where I used to work. I know there's no street down there, there's a walkway, but parking's on the other side in Connie Avenue. Oh, more apartments going up here too. Wow, that takes the total up to 6 sets. I mean. Trying to keep my hand out of the frame, but it's not working terribly well because I think the camera's adjusting to the light on the steering wheel, coming off the steering wheel, so blurring my face. Problem is I probably should put the camera up a little bit higher, but at least that's fairly smooth along here. This is Balcombe Hills, as I probably mentioned prior. We're going to Castle Hill, which is pretty much the next suburb over. I think that was over, but someone put little flames above the headlights. I can't even like that, like there were eyelashes, flames for eyelashes. Seriously. Don't do that. Dear. Well, it should be in the hills now, aka Castle Hill. For the road. Just enjoying the drive at the moment. I believe it's much further down the road I'm looking for. Now we're in Castle Hill. Now it's 70 coming up anyway. I'm thinking this is Salisbury Road here. Trying to get a confirmation on that. We might just have to go down it. Oh, this is yeah, we did miss the turn off. Victoria Road. Yeah, the turn off was back there. Salisbury Road. I might actually have to stop this video and look up the map. I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head, but if you watch my videos about dyslexia, then yeah, you can tell why it's going to be difficult. I've still got 15 minutes. Okay, so nope, it's not around here. Hoyle Avenue. That's an old Kingswood there, old Holden. Assuming we can turn down here. Yeah, I think so. It crosses Salisbury Road, let's say. Carrington. No. I know where Carrington takes me though. Come on. You ponce of a fucking SUV. Oh yeah, of course, Salisbury Road. Let's go down here. I hope it's down this direction. This is the going the direction where the turn off I missed. And I'm looking for Hudson. That's right. Turn off called Hudson. Oh jeez, why did you park there? So, okay. Well, that was about as useful as tits on a bull. Cool. Oh, this is Hudson Avenue. Oh. Right. That means that other area was at Hudson Avenue as well, most likely. So now I've got to look for 2D. Now where the hell am I? 20. Just looking for which direction the numbers go. 14 to 18. Okay. So I might get to 2D. Salisbury Road, that way. But no, we want Hudson. Still not doing too bad for guesses. Yeah, usually they put which way the numbers are going on the street signs, but not lately. AMF bowl. Okay, well, the end of the last bit was a bit abrupt, I know. I was busy parking and I'm just taking my shoes off at the moment. because I don't like wearing shoes. But yeah, I was busy parking and trying to avoid cars and all that jazz. I haven't been to this particular area of this particular suburb, so it was a bit of a mess, and the video cut out and all that shite. Well, shit. Who cares what I say? Foul. If you don't like foul language, well, sort of stiff biscuits. Yeah, I know. Car's a bit of a nanny. But anyway, let's get out of here and go back home, I suppose. Since I finished my induction and all that jazz and introductory, it's gonna be different for sure. It's a warehouse type role, so yeah. I haven't really done anything much to do with warehousing or anything of that ilk, so we'll see. But that's not my main reason why we have this video going, is it? It's to check the idiot drivers. And no music as well. We don't want any copyright infringements. Unlike earlier today, someone's probably going to arc up and say something, but I doubt there was that much on the radio going at the moment at that time that would warrant any real oh, it's actually easy to go from Victoria to Gladstone. Oh, right. Okay, that makes life a little bit easier. No, you're not supposed to use roundabouts like that. I just took advantage of the fact that there was no one going on the roundabout at the time. There was only supposed to be one person on the roundabout at any one time anyway. So, yeah. I'm changing the position of my camera so it's not focusing too much on my steering wheel, so I get a better facial view, although the camera's a little bit closer to me, but only by a couple of mils, I think. But still, I'd be happy if the camera was about a foot that way. So that would leave it on the outside of the vehicle. This Ponce is going 10 k's under the speed limit. Yeah, get out of my road. There we go, from Castle to Balcombe Hills. Well, so I'm very concerned about people locating me or anything like that. I know other YouTubers have given out almost their exact location, and they have paid the price. So things may change about me saying street names and suburbs and stuff like that, but a lot of people that live in the area that saw the videos would know where everything is anyway, so that's why I'm not too concerned about the street names. And even if you find out where I live, there's nothing of value. I mean, literally nothing of value. Bus. Buses are a bit annoying like that. But if you see that little indicator on which you can't, it says give way. So in metro areas, it means that the bus have right away. In regional areas, it means nothing, quite literally. According to the handbook, driver's handbook, it means nothing in regional and rural areas. Just in metro and built up areas. Which usually means typically around schools. I bet you if I whistle a tune, someone will claim copyright infringement. Jeez. Yeah, anything for a buck, I think. I might just adjust you guys like that. Yeah. But at least we don't have too much of the sunlight in our road at the moment. Although having to look at the screen to look at the time and all that sort of stuff is a bit annoying. But that comes second to what I'm doing, which is driving. Which is why there's a lot of cuts and spaces between cuts. Afghan restaurant, eh? Cool. But yeah, Australia is very multicultural, so although certain areas have been noted as a particular culture, but that's just because that's the way human peoples are. Like, similar people get together in groups and areas and stuff like that. It's got nothing to do with being racist or anything like that. It's just people are comfortable around people that they're familiar with, culturally, religiously, whatever. And I'm sure people would find that evident, particularly in the United States. Porsche. Nothing great. Well, that Porsche wasn't anything great. It was convertible. I couldn't tell if it was a Boxster or what, but I just know we've got to turn down here. Fairly lame cars. It's a shame that sometimes you guys miss out on the Ferraris and the Lambos that I come across every so often. And this is that hill that I like. I don't know why I like it, I don't know. When you're going like slow, like 50, 40 down here, it's like, I can go 60. It's like a lot better. I don't know, it just gives you the thrill of a race type of thing. I don't know. But now we've got people that are going quite literally 40 along up here. Toyota Corolla. Yes. Come on, dude. The light turned green ages ago, mate. Well, the light's still red down there, so. Anyway, I was saying, a lot of lane changing along here because people driving slow, like 40k slow in a 60 zone, and they turn off into a side street that's not at a traffic light or anything like that. Porsche Cayman. I don't like the SUVs. I just don't like SUVs in general. Well, I don't think they really should be called SUVs. They're all-wheel drive Klondikes of a four-wheel drive. Nothing really sporty about them. I think they barely manage as a vehicle half the time. This is about where people start turning off into side streets, so better watch out. Better not drive. Oh, there's a graveyard just there too. I forgot. No, he's not going to turn. Okay, cool. There's traffic lights up here, so people will often. This is another one of those little sections where this lane might as well be a turning right only lane rather than a right and a straight ahead lane. Because more often than not, I'll get caught here where the arrow turns green, but the main straight ahead signal is still red, and vice versa, mind you. But and when people are trying to turn right behind you and you're going straight ahead, they sort of get antsy. Not every one of them, but a lot of them do tend to get quite antsy. Yeah, even I turned on my indicator a bit too late, and the guy just turned his indicator on that was behind me, so. I mean, people should be setting examples for me since I'm the P-plater. And P-plater should be setting examples for other P-platers and learners. I'm a P2 to be exact, so I should be setting examples for other P2s and P1s and learners. And P just means provisional. P2 means I've spent 1 year as a P1. And I've got to spend 2 years as a P2. I don't know if the numbering is got anything to do with the number of years or just called getting. I basically spend 3 years a provisional learner, but you don't. But a lot of people spend that a lot of time, at least 6 months on L's anyway. Particularly if you're over 25. If you're under 25, you've got to spend a minimum of 6 months on L's with 6 months learning. So you spend 12 months on a learner, and typically, and go to P1, which is another 12 months, then 12 to 18 months, and then P2, which is 24 to 30 months. So you get that sort of 6 month leeway. If you're over 25, it's a little bit different because you don't have that waiting time with the L1, so you can start and complete your L1 within 6 months of getting it. So that's not too bad. I need to turn left up here somewhere, so yeah, I probably should have gotten in the lane ahead of time, but considering those trucks, yeah, I'll just have to do the best I can. If I can't get in there, I can't get in there. I'll just go straight ahead, and I know a place where I can safely turn, because you can't do a U-turn at intersections or anywhere where it doesn't say U-turn permitted. So It's a fairly long trip to the safe place, but there's other safe places as well to do a U-turn. I mean, you just go down a side street and do a U-turn in someone's driveway. But people around here aren't too bad with letting other people in. The outer burbs of Sydney tend to be aggressive. Let's just put it that way. Inside Sydney, they don't seem to be too bad. We'll get in front of this truck. Make sure we've got plenty of room for him to stop if need be. But we're just turning the corner anyway, so... Yeah, okay. Oh, he's turning the corner too. Okay. I'll be upgrading to MR, so I'd like to show some level of respect to rigid drivers. I mean, they are put under a lot of pressure. I mean, seriously, a lot of pressure. Particularly the MRs and HRs and HCs and MCs. All these are different licensing classes, and probably got similar ones over in the States. Okay. The trucker is going around the corner here. He's probably meeting up with the apartments back there to offload some supplies. But yeah, you got your light rigid, medium rigid, heavy combination, and multi-combination. Which are all technically based on weight. Once you go to HR, you start having more than 2 axles. So even on an MR, I don't think you can drive anything more than 2 axles. So that's including the front and rear axle. Including the front, I should say. So yeah. I think the only exception is when you're driving a bus and you've got a bus permit. Damn, this damn camera is shaking around all over the bloody place today. So yeah, I mean, you don't have to take my word for it, and I'd apply for all states. I know most of it applies to Queensland as well, except I think they just got the provisional plates, not P1 or P2. And Melbourne's got those hook turns. Ugh. When I first saw it done, I thought we were gonna die. Jeez. Better not do that. There's probably going to be another set of units, and there's another set of, oh fucking hell. So the number of units that are going up in the area that are new has jumped to 8 now. 9 perhaps. Unless they're all on the same lot, then it doesn't count. But there's going to be another set of units just here, behind another set of units, which I didn't count before because I didn't know they were there. Which is beside these set of units. So you've got this poor little house here. Oh crap. Yeah, I didn't figure this into my calculations, did I? Oh well. Live and learn. I mean, you know what? We just missed it. This dude right in front of us, he changed lanes without indicating. Now he's indicating to go that way. I may have indicated, but it was only like one blink and I missed it. I blinked. That's the 7-Eleven I was talking about earlier. But that's why I hate this fucking video cutting out every 10 minutes. Kinda wish I had a sunroof. I like this car. Even though it's got single disc CD. It doesn't have automatic climate control though. It does have cruise control. It does have traction control. It does has ABS. It does have the tow bar with relevant accessories. And it has rear parking sensors. And I'm also told it has electronics suspension stability control. I'm not sure how that works or if it actually is working at all. I don't really see it or feel it, so I can't say if that's true or not. You don't really need an indicator around here. The signs would say otherwise, but you can only go this direction, so. And this lane is a turning lane here anyway, so. Which is a kind of a pain in the ass most of the time. But that right hand lane there will, people tend to turn off down this street here particularly. And you know, that caused the traffic to back up a bit. But these guys are going to go around this corner, and this guy is probably going to go 5k's down this nice downward sweep. It's nice going along that sweep at about 60k's, and you can feel the car just really gripping the road. Unlike on previous tyres, the car would, you know, just there was a roadkill there, but yeah, I don't know, I just like that feeling that, you know, your car's in control regardless what speed you're going, and it just really grips the road. I'm like, these tyres are really good. Although there are other tyres that are cheaper and less well-known branded, like Nexon tyres, that grip pretty well too, but not on this car, on a smaller car like the car in front of us, which is a Nissan Pulsar. Mum's got a Nissan Pulsar, but it's a 2001 variant, so that one is the Nissan Pulsar Plus STI model, maybe. It's got all the chrome, but it's 2004, 2002, 2004. Oh, again, 30k's in a 70 zone. And here I am trying to go around this fucking corner. I just want to get home. And I want to get home at a reasonable pace. And now we've got a loner. And this is what a loner looks like. It's okay. I'll let them turn corners, particularly this corner here. It's pretty sharp, so in that case, you know, if they're new to driving, taking a very sharp corner, it's better they take it slow and steady until they feel comfortable doing it at a slightly higher speed. My general philosophy is, anyway, not to really beep or get angry at people in traffic. I may look at other lies, but that's just me being a bit of a jerk. So, yeah. I don't really recommend driving while angry, pissed off, or otherwise upset. Okay. more cases than not, they think they're in the right and they don't understand what they did wrong or why they deserved beeping. So there's a lot of cases, no point beeping people. You know, a lot of them are of I like dogs. Unless you do it straight away, they have no idea what you're going on about. And here's my stop. I probably could park behind that V-dub, but this car in front of us doesn't go. They were trying to start this car one morning, and they woke me up because my bed's pretty close and I keep my window open even in winter. It's very cold. And yeah, they're starting the car. Of course, it's not starting, so I get out and walk to my garage, get some Start You Bastard, Newlon. It's a Newlon product, Start You Bastard, look it up. And came out here and asked her if she needed help. She was still trying to start a car. And she said, yeah, my water pump's broken and that's why it's not starting, and I was just going to take it to the mechanic to get it fixed. I'm like, yeah, that's not your water pump. Then I'm like, you want to open the hood and try some Start Your Bastard, see if that helps? So she opened the hood and kept telling me about the water pump. I said, no. I eventually said, no, your water pump has nothing to do with your car not starting. The water pump's there to only cool down your engine. And in a four-cylinder like this, or 1.6 cylinder, I know that you can run it without a working water pump for quite some time before it starts to overheat, if it overheats at all, because the heating and cooling of the coolant tends to force a modestly small amount of fluid through the radiator and the engine block. But yeah, I didn't tell her the science behind all that sort of shit. I just said, look, that's not your water pump. That's something else. It sounds like your fuel pump's probably not working or buggered. She's like, is that expensive to fix? I'm like, oh, upwards to $600, and that's including labour. I mean, she's not a DIYer. She'd take it to a mechanic and they rip her off because she's female. So I gave her a price around that, and she's like, so it's not really worth fixing. I go, oh, we'll try this, and I'll try and see if I can diagnose the problem. So spray some Start Your Bastard on the air filter and told her to crank it. She started cranking it and nothing going. I'm opening the throttle, closing the throttle, open the throttle again, full, half, you name it. It comes close, but not quite start at all. So she stops cranking the engine. I'm like, well, it's not starting, so it's got to be something to do with your fuel supply or your spark. So I said, keep cranking it and I'll continue diagnosing it. So she's cranking. So I start pulling out the spark plug leads and seeing if there's any spark. And put my hands over it and all that sort of stuff. When you pull one of those things out, normally the spark would breach through the plastic core and then shock your hand or strike the motor. No. Couldn't find one spark on any of those leads. So I told her, your distributor is fucked. She's like, so expensive? I'll go about $400 or $500. So she's like, oh, is that really worth fixing? I'm like, nah. I mean, when I showed her my hands and I had oil. There was oil coming out of this distributor. So yeah, the distributor's full of fluid, which is why it's not creating any spark. So anyway, I thought I'd let you in. So I thought I'd give you the story behind that, since it's one thing that happened fairly recently. But anyway, I'd better get out of the car and shut the fuck up. See ya.